Welcome back to Cody in the Cinema, and today we're going to be discussing The Last Stop in Yuma County, a crime western thriller that involves two robbers who drive to a diner and they want some gas. There's no gas there at the diner. The station's out of gas, waiting for a truck, and a number of other diners are also waiting for gas. One comes in after another. And what most of the diners may not realize is that the waitress and another character played by Jim Cummings, who's a knife salesman, are being forced to pretend like everything's okay while they know it's not. So the idea is that if someone comes along that actually does have gas, their vehicle will get stolen. These two robbers will make out, and you get the picture. So this movie, I feel like, is going to be divisive, although it's generally received favorable ratings. But I do think it's going to be a little bit divisive because the first half, roughly, and the second half, roughly, are kind of different movies. The first half's a little bit more character-driven, a little bit more of a slow tension build-up. There's a scene where a jukebox plays some music, and then the next half of the picture changes a little bit of what it does. And I suspect that the average viewer will like the sort of second half of this movie a little better than the first half. I was the opposite. I liked this movie when the tension was being built in this diner, wondering, will these guys shoot so-and-so? Oh gosh, is the gas truck going to come early? And then is that going to lead to violence? Or should I be looking forward to the gas truck because maybe that will alleviate some of the tension? We have one character who wears a really cool Bigfoot shirt, and he's sort of goofy and provides us some comedy along the way, but still there is tension, and we're constantly wondering what will happen next, more than maybe in some thrillers. And that part of the movie I thought was really, really well done. At one point the phone line is cut, and so that adds just another layer. I mean, the way that this navigates itself early on, I was a big fan of. With the exception of Jocelyn Donahue's waitress character, I felt like she was a little flat in her performance, but not a big deal. And then the jukebox scene happens, and then some things happen, and I didn't like that part of the movie quite as much. I thought that part of the movie became quite contrived, especially at the end, and I just didn't love where it went. The problem I had was that the movie set out a certain set of rules that were very grounded in reality, and as the movie went on, I felt less grounded in reality. And for me as a film viewer, I just like for a movie to be consistent, like in its rules and its tone, and for things to make sense within the world the movie creates, right? This movie, as far as what you can expect out of it, so I picked a few comparisons. Like, this will be closer to the renowned westerns, these Bud Boetticher westerns that are a little bit more like lower budget, almost like B movies with a sort of a singular location or basically a singular location, as opposed to something like Hell or High Water, which would have a little bit more of a budget, a little bit bigger of a cast, right? And the stakes are higher in general. And this is probably about the best a modern Western style thriller is going to look. So it's something between those two. Overall, here's what I would say about should you watch it. If you're a fan of thrillers, if you like crime-related, Western-related pictures, do see it. I recommend it. I did enjoy the movie, with the reservation that I don't love it, and I wouldn't necessarily go out and buy a copy. I wouldn't. If you're someone who only goes to the theater sometimes, occasionally, maybe this wouldn't be the one to pick if it's showing in your city or location, because it does have a limited release. I rented this. I don't know. I might wait for it to be free in the future. So it's a marginal recommendation from me, but I am glad that something like this exists. I do think it pushes the indie mold a little bit, and like I said, if it hadn't been for sort of where I think the plot went off the rails a little bit and I didn't quite believe it as much, then I would probably be more excited for it. That's my opinion. Thank you for watching my review. If you have seen the movie, let me know what you think. You may have liked it better than me. You may have liked it less, and you may think that I'm crazy. Let me know, And we'll see you next time on Cody in the Cinema.